Oh, boys and girls, how are we doing? We need to play a game. We need to play a game of how can we find the balance between keeping me cool, obviously temperature-wise, I'm cool anyway, and not being too annoying with the audio. This is perfect from a temperature perspective. I've managed to get it down to a comfortable 23 degrees in the office with a fan and a portable air conditioner, both running full blast. However, I have just listened to a recording of it. It's noticeable, I think. Is it a problem? I'm hoping the music will block most of it out. But it's going to hit 34 degrees outside this afternoon. It's usually a good 4 or 5 degrees warmer in my office than it is outside. So I can't stream all afternoon in 40-degree heat. So if we think this is okay, and by okay, I kind of mean not, oh, I'm a regular, I'll put up with it. I don't want Kev to get hot. I'm thinking if someone new turns up to the stream and hears this audio, are they going to think, oh, the audio's rubbish and just leave? Or is it fine? That's what I'm asking. We can toy with turning a few things off or turning them down. Like I say, everything's on full blast. But we're saying it's fine. When you talk loudly, you hear it slightly in the background. It's so much better than audio than 90% of streamers. Put a disclaimer on the screen and keep it there. I just put volume way up. It seems fine. Let's assume it's fine. Then the other issue we might have, this is actually sweat today. It's so warm. Because I've got the air conditioner on, I've got to have the window open and the hose out the window, which means I've got to have the blinds open as well. So I'm also not in control of the light in this room, which is fine now. But as the afternoon goes on, the sun basically rotates around my house as if it's going above us. And at some point, the sun will start blasting in through this window and we won't be able to see anything either. So we'll deal with that when we get to it. We'll worry about that when the time comes. But for now, we'll proceed like this. We've got some subs already in as well. Mr. Dobson subbed 3 hours ago. Thank you, Mr. Dobson. I don't think I was streaming 3 hours ago. I like it. Fleming, thank you for 43 months. Archduke Mellon, thank you for 24 months. We should probably do a YouTube intro, shouldn't we? There's a low background rustle, but you're still clear. It's just the background. Yeah. I mean, how about if I switch the air conditioning? If I turn the air conditioning to low, I can still feel that. It should still keep the room cool. Does that remove the background rustle? It makes it noticeably quieter to me in the room. So maybe we just have the AC on low. But it's still... Basically, I've got that keeping that armpit fresh and the fan keeping this armpit fresh. If that's removed any of the background noise, turning that to low, we'll leave it on low. Otherwise, I can't hear it. Is that everyone can't hear it? We'll leave it like that then. I've got a can of sparkling Evian to have in a minute as well. Not a sponsor, but how exciting is that? A can of sparkling Evian. Ooh. Ooh. Meerkat, thank you for 7 months. Would it be possible to discuss compensation for the amount of money you've cost me getting into Pokemon collections cards? No. Balance out the amount of money you've spent with the amount of pleasure you've had. They should be about equal. We're fine. We don't have a problem. Someone I saw earlier asked what happened to the network game last night. This time was Jack's fault. His internet blew up and he couldn't stream. We're hopefully going to do 2 network games next week. 2 network game streams. So there'll be the normal Thursday one and then I guess one earlier in the week because I certainly can't do the weekend next week because I've got the Autism Show and the Content Creators Cup. But we'll try and do one, I guess, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You know, you probably are familiar with the days of the week. It'll be one of the middle ones that's not Thursday. The Davy Scoops in for 19 months. Thank you very much. And Vlogsmead's in for 20 months. What a time to be alive. Nice. I'm off work all next week. That's the spirit. Have I calmed down about the letter about Amy? I mean... I'm relatively calm about it. Amy's pretty miffed because she had an appointment next week where she might have had it taken out. She's had a brace in. If you haven't seen it on Twitter, we basically had a letter from Amy's orthodontist withdrawing all care because they've lost the contract with the local NHS or some such nonsense, and they've withdrawn all care, cancelled all appointments, and there's no one available to take over the care. Amy's been under their care for like 4 or 5 years. He's right at the last step, and she had an appointment for next week where she thought she might get the brace taken out, and now that's been cancelled, and it's like, whoa. Yeah, so she's pretty miffed. So I thought I'd throw my weight around on Twitter and see if that makes any difference. It won't, but sometimes you have to throw your weight around, especially when you have as much weight as I do. Right, what are we doing? We are doing a YouTube intro. Can't find the thing for it. The heat has distracted me. Have you all seen the trailer for the new series that starts tomorrow? Oh, it's exciting. I'm very excited. Well, that hasn't been the best start to second season in the Premier League. We're not calling it second season syndrome just yet, but it hasn't been the best of starts. But we did beat Roma, and we're probably going to win the Conference League. So who really cares about the Premier League? The Premier League is for losers. We're going to qualify for Europe next year by winning a trophy. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Ta-da! I think we're probably going to get all those subs come through again now because of this glitch that I've got with OBS. I don't really know what causes the glitch. My headphones are very loud, actually. Glad you all enjoyed the trailer. So we've got that Mbappe video coming out tomorrow, which is the series I was excited about the other week. If you remember me saying that I had a series that I thought had the potential to be as big as Barcelona was for me last year, that was my big idea. Mbappe as my director of football. So it's going to be interesting. Yeah, someone else has said there, it's going to be interesting. It's absolutely going to be interesting because I've seen what he does in the first transfer window. It's definitely going to be interesting. And then I've got a standalone video coming out on Sunday as well. We're ramping up the content, finally starting to do what I was going to do from the end of Non-League to Legend anyway, and get some content out at the weekends. But then I ended up going on holiday twice in 2 months. So the 3 weeks I was at home each month, I was busting my buttocks trying to get a week ahead on videos the whole time. So I never had a chance to do any extra stuff. But now we're back. No holidays on the horizon. We can stream more. We can do a couple of network games next week. I can do some standalone videos. We're entering phase 3 of the FM22 cycle. The final phase. The more relaxed phase. It's going to be excellent. How am I getting it to work? Is it duplication of him, or is it somehow getting him? He's a player / staff member. So same way as you get player coaches in game, players can be a player / non-player, and they can take any non-player role. You just don't see it, but it's all there in the editor. You can make someone player owner if you want to. It's certainly ripe for experimentation, because it'd be really interesting if someone was player owner. Presumably they wouldn't be able to leave the club because they owned the club. If they sell the club, do they leave as player as well? It's pretty interesting. Is there a way, one thing I haven't tested, which could be disastrous, but hilarious for the save, if Mbappe is there as player director of football, if, say, Liverpool offer him a job as director of football, can he leave and go there as player or director of football and then not have to pay a playing transfer fee? So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. Suggestion for the Mbappe save: one player per season has to come in from his agent's roster. He's completely in charge of the transfers. I have no input. He's doing all the transfers in and out. He's doing all the contracts. I am literally just picking the team. I guess if I really wanted to, I could buy a tracksuit and go on the training ground, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not a maniac. I remember managing a tiny Ukrainian team a few years ago. They had a player / owner. I think they got a takeover and he left as both owner and player. Wow. Brad, thank you for the gifted sub. What are his staff attributes? Whatever the game randomly allocated and gave him when I made him a player / director of football. I didn't add any staff attributes in because obviously we have no idea what his staff attributes would be. He's not a member of staff. So yeah, it's like I say, it's just a little bit of fun. It's not going to be a long series. Well, it'll last the 3 years of Mbappe's contract. I'm not going to show you any domestic league games because what's the point? It's Paris Saint-Germain. They're going to win them all. So we're going to be focusing in on the transfer windows and the latter stages of the Champions League. And the idea being we try and win the Champions League before Mbappe leaves, with him doing all the transfers in and out. So probably 2 or 3 episodes a season. One focusing on the summer transfer window, and then maybe 2 doing January, and then leading into the latter stages of the Champions League type stuff. I think it'd be interesting. So can Mbappe give himself a brand new contract? I mean, theoretically he could, but his initial contract is on like £900,000 a week, which is outside the wage budget of the club. So I don't know. I mean, I couldn't offer him a new contract on the same money he's on now. Whether he could offer himself one, I guess we find out at the end of the 3 years. Or any time before then. He might do it immediately. We just don't know. The man's a law unto himself. I just have to do as I'm told. Big Mike, thank you for 26 months. And Alex, thank you for 5 months. Did we qualify for Europe? We did. We're in the Conference League. We're going to win the Conference League. I probably should have rotated the team for this game. We're already top of our Conference League group. Against Uta Arad, we probably could have rotated. Mbappe just sells anyone who can compete in the squad space with him. Yeah, the other thing I did is that list of 13 players that he supposedly doesn't want at the club. I put all them on the transfer list as well. Just try and add that little layer of realism to it. If it's public knowledge, the 13 he wants rid of, well, let's put them all on the transfer list. And so Neymar is on the transfer list as well. Because that's what Kylian wants. So, like I say, lots of fun to be had. Premiere's 11 a.m. tomorrow. It's going to be lovely, lovely fun. I won't actually be there in the chat of the premiere because as that premiere is going out, I'm going to be on stage at the autism show, which I didn't kind of connect the 2 times together until today. And by then, I'd already announced it. So it's fine. I'll check in on the comments afterwards. Sit there backstage at the autism show, checking comments on a new Football Manager video because I lead my magical double life. Chris, thank you for 23 months. Finally managed to get to manage Messi after trying to get him back to Barcelona last year. Exactly. Managing Messi. It's not hard, is it? Not much to it. And the way the series structure is going to be, as a minimum, there'll be weekly episodes on Saturday mornings. However, throughout the series, not just for episode 1, that's a lovely finish from Martha. Throughout the series, as soon as we get 5,000 likes on a video, we release the next one. So the frequency of the videos is completely in the hands of the viewers. If we get 5,000 likes every day, it'll be daily. And it'll be over by this time next week. And I won't sleep for a week making all those videos. Am I going to be controlling PSG, playing the game and tactics, or holidaying for the season? A little bit of both. So for most of the league games, we're probably just going to be holidaying. I'll set the tactic. When you go on holiday, you can set the tactic. I don't think there's much. Just like there's no point in me showing you Ligue 1 games as PSG. There's really not much fun in playing all those Ligue 1 games either. But I will be managing in the Champions League. And obviously, if things aren't working out, I'll step in and manage some matches. So I'm only going to holiday like a couple of weeks at a time, probably from Champions League match to Champions League match. And if things are going wrong in between, or if I need to test some stuff out, there's no real hard and fast rule about that. I'll manage / holiday as much or as little as I need to be able to do my job as manager. But there will be matches in episodes that you watch me managing, i.e. Champions League latter stages games, because that's the goal. We win the Champions League with old Kylian before he presumably goes and plays for Real Madrid anyway. So I imagine that's what he's going to do, unless he does give himself a massive contract. Or he might just sack me. That'd be nice if he just sacks me. Can the director of football sack the manager? I might have to check in the settings. I think that's a thing you can do. That would be a disaster if he can sack me. What date am I taking signings from? 30th of May. That was the database I found. So Haaland is at Man City, but Nunez isn't at Liverpool yet. We're in that little gap there. So it's up to date. All the league and everything is up to date for the end of the season. We start the save on the 1st of June with transfers up to date as of the 1st of June. Oh, we're not playing Webby anymore, are we? Because he got a grumpy on. Webby's got an attitude problem, so we're done with him. Yeah, so it's as up to date as I could do it. I remember Mr. Snake in the Grass getting you the sack at Plymouth years ago. Yeah, so it certainly used to be a thing. So I guess it is still a thing. I remember the thing from the stream 2 days ago. I remember everything. This is what happens when I'm not sleep deprived. I'm becoming more and more oxygenated as time goes on. I've been using my snorkel, my CPAP machine. I've been using it for what, 2 or 3 months now? I'm now in a proper sleep schedule. The bags under my eyes are just about gone. Look, hold on. We're going full face. The bags under my eyes. The bags have gone. I turned 40 in a couple of weeks, so there's still the odd line. There would be. I'm nearly 40. But the bags under my eyes are just about gone. I've caught up on my sleep deficit. It's a wonderful thing. I can now concentrate and remember things much better. If you thought I was a genius before, things are changing. I'm going to start remembering all sorts of things. How would you do it exactly? Ask Mbappe to recommend signings and staff. What if you can't think of anything? I mean, you literally, you go into responsibilities, and for transfers, you can make your director of football fully in control of transfers. So he's the director of football of the club. I've just made him in charge of everything on this page and everything on that page. So he does all contracts, all transfers. I've also got him in charge of all coming and going staff and all contracts. Does it say on here who can sack me? Responsible for hiring and firing the manager, so he's the chairman. So it looks like, unless, I guess that's something I could have hard coded in, but haven't done. Would have been interesting to make it so Mbappe could sack me. That would have been mad. Right, let's praise some form. I really should have rotated the team for that game. Although, I guess on the flip side of that, we had just lost 2 Premier League games in a row, so probably wasn't the worst thing in the world to get a little bit of a confidence boost into us going into more tough games coming. What happened to lightly cantankerous Kev? As revealed in the trailer for the new series, that was Ideas Kev. He's a grumpy old man. He's a potty-mouthed grumpy man. Old Ideas Kev. But I've managed to fully segment him off. Unless I put that hat on, I'm chirpy and cheerful and lovely. Terry, thank you for 12 months. I can hear the fan quite loudly now when you talk. Interesting, because nothing has changed. Let's turn it off for a little while and see how long it takes for me to need to turn it back on. Ignore me coughing. So that's the air conditioning off temporarily, and the fan is still on. So you shouldn't be able to hear anything now. Unless everyone in the comments on YouTube yesterday is a liar. Everyone's all tired. Oh. Ideas Kev's here to stay. He's got his book to write, though. He's busy. Haven't been in since the championship. Where did we finish last season? We finished 7th last season. Qualified for the Europa Conference League. We are having a little bit of second season syndrome. Although we are doing very well in the Conference League. We're top of our Conference League group, which does contain Roma. And we beat Roma. I've got to remember which team I'm supposed to be cheering for here. Seeing the hashtag Keverton shirts out there. It's natural instinct to cheer Keverton on. I love the fact that Sparksy takes corners. A centre-back taking the corner to another centre-back to nod it in is brilliant. If I start to get too hot again, I'll just turn the air conditioning back on, and we'll perhaps do it in bursts. I've already briefed Chris that on the YouTube highlights, he's probably going to need to put some background music on because there's going to be a little bit of in the background, which will be more noticeable without the music. It's only 7th place that qualifies for the Conference League, or 6th place if someone from outside the top 6 wins the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup. I think that's how it is. Oh my word. Fleming all over the place there. I would imagine if you're not watching on... The only way you're going to hear the fan is if you're listening on really good headphones. Because when I'm... Like that video I put on YouTube yesterday where I asked you all about it, and everyone's like, Kev, I couldn't hear anything. I could on these. And I'm still having to squirt my ears every day because they were blocked. But because my headphones are super duper and quite loud when I'm editing, so I can hear stuff like that going on, I could hear it. But if I just played it through the speakers, I wouldn't be able to. Any save ideas for if I'm in 2031, I've just won the Prem 6 years in a row and the Champions League 3 times. Retire that manager and start again and add a new manager who's unemployed in that same universe and see where they end up. What headphones do I have? These are the ones Matt told me to. They're Audio Technica ATH-M50X is what it says on the side. I just bought the ones Nerdphonic told me to buy. Yeah, I don't know much about that kind of thing. When it comes to most stuff that I've bought for work, it's just whatever Matt told me to get. Because, of course, he's done the research and he's right. Oh, Webby. Webby's goal is disallowed. Can I share the tactic? I mean, there's not really much to it. I can show you it quickly. It's literally a standard Gegenpress tactical style. I've not changed any of that. And then it's a diamond, but I've pushed the defensive midfielder forward and then tweaked the player roles to suit the players. There's not much to it. Imagine with your busy summer schedule, we're not going to be seeing you in the showdown soon. It depends when showdowns are. I've got weekends free. I want to be in the showdown. There'll always be some that I can't do because I am often busy at weekends. So the eagle-eyed amongst you who know what events I'm doing and know when showdowns are scheduled for, which won't be very many of you at all, we'll probably be able to pick out the ones that I'm probably not doing because I'm probably at an event. But there'll be plenty that I do. I've got to just remind everyone that I am the best. Just by keep winning it. Kevy 8 times. We've got to get to Kevy 8 times before FM23 comes out. That feels like it has to be done. Everyone's so tired after European football. Before Clates catches up. Clates isn't going to catch up. Clates has played in about one in the last year. He may have won it. He's played in even fewer in the last year than I have. I think I've only missed 2 or 3 in the last year. But I guess it's something that was always going to happen once we weren't in lockdown anymore. It is going to be a little bit harder to have people available for entire weekends. So I imagine there'll be, I mean, I've not spoken to Ben about this, so I have no idea. I'm just speculating. I imagine there'll be a little bit more rotation in cast, just because there has to be, because there'll be people who aren't available, especially in the summer. Because people go on holidays and days outs and do family things and all that kind of stuff. It was a bit different when we were all stuck in our houses and we were like, well, we can do this every week. There were discussions at one point of, or suggestions, I don't think they were ever properly entertained, of could we do it even more often, more than once a month? Because back then we could. We had nothing else to do. I think it's a little trickier now. Really unnerving to hear other streamers use this playlist. Yeah, it's mine. Zealand might decide to go for 2 months in Austria. Yeah, exactly. I mean, a perfect example of what I'm saying is the network game. We've missed the last 4 weeks of that now because various ones of us have been unavailable. And there's going to be more missed in the next month, I imagine. We'll try and do 2 next week, but Zealand's coming to the UK soon, isn't he? So we can't do it then. We've got TwitchCon. We can't do it while we're at TwitchCon. 3 of us are going to be at TwitchCon. So I'm pretty sure when I've got an early flight on the Friday morning, I'm probably not going to be streaming late into Thursday evening playing the network game. And I won't be anyway, because Zealand will be either in England or already in Amsterdam himself, so he won't be at his computer. So there'll be no network game that week. I imagine Ben and Jack will probably go on holiday at some point as well. Me and Zealand have both had ours. I imagine they'll have holidays at some point. So, yeah. It's all very complicated to schedule now the world's opened up again. You're not even going to remember what's going on when you start the network game up again. We beg you for a vlog with these rascals. I mean, there'll be a full weekend of vlog. There'll be probably 4 or 5 videos come out of TwitchCon weekend. I'll vlog all 4 days because I'm there for 4 full days. I'm flying out first thing Friday morning and coming back late Monday night. TwitchCon's only the Saturday and the Sunday, so I've got four full days pretty much in Amsterdam, 2 of which will be for TwitchCon. So there'll probably be 4 days worth of Amsterdam vlogs and then a standalone filmed inside TwitchCon video. And I imagine all these rascals who are coming will appear in various parts of them. I don't know when everyone else is arriving and leaving. I've not coordinated with anybody. But yeah, I am going to be there early on the Friday morning. Looking forward to meeting up with them all. No, not really. They're all really unpleasant in real life. I've never met Zealand in person. I think Zealand's the only one who's going to be there I won't have met before. Because I think everybody else who may or may not be going, I don't even know who's going out of the FM lot, but I don't think there's many people likely to travel to TwitchCon who I won't have met at previous events of some kind. I am intrigued to see if Zealand is as tall as he claims he is. I find it hard to believe. Bearing in mind, all 4 of us claim we're 6'2", so it's going to be very interesting to see who's tallest. That's what I'm most interested in. Are we all really 6'2", or who's faking? I think Jack's definitely no more than 5'9". He just has 5'9" energy about him. Right, we're going to play the reserves against Chelsea here, I think, because we just want to get knocked out of this. I find it hard to believe Zealand's 6'2". I'm 5'10". It's brutal. I mean, bearing in mind, I've met Jack multiple times. And I don't ever remember him being tall. I must have met Jack 10 plus times at various things. Is he 6'2"? I'm not sure. Me and Ben are definitely the same height. I know me and Ben are definitely 6'2". The other two, though. Zed is 6'2" with all the chest hair. Zed is most likely to be 6'2" because of his basketball days. I mean, I played basketball. Do you have to play basketball if you're 6'2"? I'm excited to meet Zealand. I mean, excited is a strong word. I just want to know if he's tall or not. Oh, and I want to see how big his hands are. I'm just interested. I like to see how big people's hands are. Plus, okay, I'll confess, I'm interested to see what his bottom half looks like. Because I've only ever seen him from, like, nipples up. I just really, really hope above all hope, that from the nipples down, he's just massively fat. I really hope he's a big fat guy. But I suspect he's probably not. That makes me sad. Turns up, measures Zealand, tuts, leaves. Yeah, that's about what you should expect. I'm 6'4" and never played basketball. Well, you're not 6'2", are you? Apparently being 6'2" means you have to play basketball. Just keep away from the red lights. Look, what goes on tour stays on tour. I love traffic lights. Oh, goose in, goose in! Yes! I can't stop. I might have mistimed the muting slightly there. Oh, I think I caught the cough, though. Don't walk around on bike paths unless you want to get run over. Look, if people ride their bike into me, they're bouncing off and hurting themselves. I'm a big boy. I challenge any of these tiny little Dutch cyclists to try riding their bike into me and see who comes off worse. Right, this is our reserves beating Chelsea. I can only assume Chelsea have put their reserves out as well. Because if our reserves can do this to Chelsea, we probably should play the reserves every week. Perhaps Webby's the answer after all. Or do my knee will come off worse? Oh yeah, I forgot about my stupid knee. Yeah, I might not even be able to walk around when I get there. Not looking forward to that. I've got a doctor's appointment on Monday. I think I said earlier in the week. Where I might finally start to get closer to finding out what's wrong with it. Unedited Whopper. Whooper. Not Whopper. Unedited Whooper. 5 months. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Such a correct height too. The tallest nation on earth. It's probably because they live below sea level. So they just like to get their heads up above sea level. That's why I'm tall. Because I grew up in the fens. I grew up below sea level. I'm looking forward to returning back to my natural habitat. I still get nosebleeds living up here in the mountains. So high up. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back below sea level where I belong. I am a full swamp man. Right. Rotate, rotate, rotate. Freshen these chaps up. Issue with your theory. I'm taller than 6'2" and grew up by the sea. Yeah, so you, pretty close to sea level then. Maybe not below sea level because you'd probably be under the sea then. But if you grew up by the sea, you must be pretty close to sea level. Even if there was like cliffs next to the sea. If you're in somewhere like Bournemouth where it's cliffs before you get to the beach, even there, you know, you got to be, you can't be more than like 20 meters above sea level. My armpit's getting sweaty again. We've got to put the air conditioning back on. What kind of idiot doesn't wear a solid black t-shirt on a day like this? Most days I wear a black t-shirt, and pit stains, I'm not afraid of them. What's the worst that could happen? The black gets blacker. But of course, hottest day in 3 years, I think it said on the radio this morning. Hottest day for 3 years. I choose to wear a shirt that can show pit sweat. What a silly boy. Wooster seems like the John Terry of goalkeepers. Lots of Hollywood saves, but it's the reason for the situation. Yeah, I can see that. Topless stream. You wish, you bunch of perverts. You'd all love that. It's what you've been hanging around all these years for, waiting for me to get my nipples out. It's not going to happen. You have to pay... Oh, Tommy. That was so theatrical. I love the way he's jumped up and put his hand up in the air. What are you claiming for there, Tom? What do you think's going to be given here? The guy's run from his own half, unchallenged, and then just run around you as you dive, and then you jump up and put your arms up in the air. Ref! He's offside? What are you asking for? How hot is it? 34 degrees this afternoon, apparently, outside. Which will end up being like 40 in my office. I've just looked round at the aircon because that's the only way I get the temperature in here. It's 26 degrees in here currently because that's been off for a few minutes. And it's currently 28 outside, but we'll be rising to 34 at between 3 and 4 o'clock. That's the hottest in 3 years. Yeah, it's very, very rare for the temperature to go above 30 degrees in this country. That's why we moan about it when it happens, because it's so rare. This is where we get into the usual thing of everyone like, in my country, it's blah, 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 blah. Yeah. I mean, every country's really good at doing what they're used to doing, what their infrastructure is built around. Our houses are built to keep heat in because it's usually cold. Which is why it's always hotter indoors than outdoors. We don't have air conditioning, and probably most importantly, we're just not used to it. A warm t-shirt, a warm summer's day t-shirt. As soon as it hits 18 degrees, I'm in shorts and t-shirts. That's pretty warm. Anything over 24, 25 starts to get uncomfortable. And as soon as it's over 30, it's unbearable. I'm just a sweaty mess the whole time. England heat's a different sort of heat. I hear people say that. I don't really get it. I think being hot when you're at work and when you're at home feels very different from it being hot when you're on holiday and you've not really got to do anything. I wonder if you just went to work in Tenerife and did your normal day-to-day work stuff, I think it'd feel pretty hot and uncomfortable. Humidity is a big factor in how heat feels. Yeah, this is where it gets too complicated for me. I can probably look at the weather app and tell you what the humidity is. It makes no sense to me. So humidity here right now is 41%. I don't know what that means. I went to Germany for a rock gig in 2019. It was 40 still at 7. This was a small venue and it was horrible. That's mad. I could not cope with that. Good morning from a 38-degree day in the US South. Hideous. In my house, you can get it colder when you descend the stairs. It's weird. I mean, it's almost as if heat rises, isn't it? It's a weird thing. The worst thing about the heat is trying to sleep. Yeah, agreed. Gonna have to carry the fan upstairs tonight. Take my big boy Dyson fan up there, stick it at the end of the bed, aim it squarely between the legs so that I can keep cool testicles. As long as my testicles are cool, I'm generally all right. Got to keep the testicles cool. I should just sit in a bucket of ice water. Different sort of heat because our country isn't built for it. Guarantee if we had regular hot weather like this, we'd have better infrastructure to cope with it. Yeah, oh yeah, I'm sure we would. Just things like air conditioning being standard. That's why I always want to poke the eyes out of the Americans who come in with the it's whatever weird American temperature. It's stupidly hot here and I'm fine. Yeah, but you're also sat in an air conditioned house. We don't have them. Ah. Your testicles are always 1 degree lower than your body temperature. There you go. So if I pull my testicle temperature down using a little pool of ice, that should lower my overall body temperature. Is that what you're saying? You don't have the AC bill either. I mean, I'll pay the AC bill. I've got air conditioning running right now. I've showed the graph before on stream. I'll show it again now. Of what happens to my utility bills in the summer, or what happened last year, because of the fact I had to have the air conditioning on for the most part of 3 months because it gets so hot in this room. It's terrifying. I imagine if we had some kind of integrated air conditioning system, it would be more energy efficient than this. Let me find the graph. Because like I say, the graph is terrifying. Let's go full screen. So if we go back to 2021, guess which 3 months I had the air conditioning on for? Makes quite the difference to my energy usage, which is troublesome. I imagine it's not quite that much of an impact when it's an integrated system. Plus, of course, we're having to pay to have the heating on all winter as well. So you're paying, when it's like this, I'm paying for the air conditioning in the summer, the heating in the winter. You get that perfect spell of like April to May, basically April and May, and then maybe a bit of October. So maybe 2.5 months over the course of the whole year where I don't need heating or aircon. Ah. At least we're winning. Get yourself a little solar panel you can put outside. You need the AC on. I don't think a little solar panel is going to power this beast. Did I see Persona 3 Portable is now coming to all modern platforms? I saw it was coming to Xbox Game Pass. When you say all modern platforms, does that include Steam? Or Switch? I'll take it on either. As long as I can play it on my Steam Deck or my Switch. Without having to faff about putting Game Pass on it. Then I'll be happy. Or do you mean like it's coming to Xbox and PlayStation? Because that's different. What has just happened there? Oh, Leicester, what have you just done, you silly gooses? That's a football goal. Xbox got the announcement, it's also coming to Steam and PlayStation, don't think Switch. As long as it's on Steam, I'm comfortable. That's beautiful. Let's get this up. Up we go! This is progress for my knee. I didn't scream when I got out of the chair. So that's got to be a good thing. It's a step in the right direction. Ah, I can now get out of the chair without yelling in pain. Which is new. Right. Oh, just adjusting the unmentionables. It's all a bit sticky. Oh, I'm so hot. I can't feel the fan up here either. The fans are all designed to aim at me while I'm sitting down. Today's form's quite different compared to last time. That seems to be how these streams go. We know how a stream is going to go based on the first few minutes. Right, we're opening up a can of sparkling Evian, which I've never seen before. Can of sparkling Evian water. Tastes like sparkling water. It's good. We only had to do one qualifying round for the Conference League, and we did get through it. Fancy Kev. I got this from B&M for 49p, and I bought one can just because of the novelty value of it. Because I saw it and thought, oh, hello. Fabio Guzman wants to go out on loan at 27 years old. He's already on the transfer list. Just leave permanently, Fabio. We've presumably offered you out already. Just leave permanently. There you go. All of a sudden we get some offers in. Where does he want to go? Dynamo Kiev. They've not offered enough money, so he's not going there. Olympiacos looks like the best offer. Zenit is fine. We'll take Olympiacos and tell everyone else they have to do that. New sponsor coming in for Kevion. I would love that. If any water companies want to sponsor me and just send me loads of water, what I'd really like, water companies, is one of those water coolers that you get in offices with the big jug on top and it's always icy cold. I'd love one of them, just sat in the corner of my office. If any water company wants to provide me with one of those, I would talk about it all the time. I don't care if it's hot today. It's not come up. Yes, it is hot today. I agree. I concur. It is hot today. Gerrard takes charge at Aston Villa. I mean, that's a bit unrealistic. Like he'd go to Villa. So he was at Rangers, went to Brighton, then Fulham, then Brighton again, which is interesting. Then Tottenham, then Liverpool. He was at Liverpool a year before getting sacked, bless him. You won't fit one in that office. Well, hopefully I won't be in this office much longer. At some point, we'll move. Who knows when? I do need a bigger office. Doddy wants to go out on loan as well. Well, that means we're going to sell you as well, Doddy, because you are 26 years old. That is too old to be going out on loan. We're just going to sell you and reinvest the pennies. We're also going to put the reserves out for this Conference League game. Right, offers for Doddy now. Everyone wants to do a wage contribution, which doesn't really sit well with me. But if everyone's doing it, I guess we'll just accept the best one. A flat 12 million with only 4.6k a week contribution. That seems like the one I'm going to accept until everyone else have to match. Oh, hold on. I guess we have to get rid of all the other ones that are worth 12 million total. Right, we're going to go for individually. No, we're not. Ah, it's complicated. So, we've got lots of £12 million offers. We'll just accept all of them. No, not stall. Accept. Accept. And then tell everyone else they've got to give us £12 million for him. Okay. That's good. We figured it out in the end. I don't mind there being a little bit of a wage contribution. I'd rather have the money. We're all right for wages. When's the next network game? Next week sometime. Hopefully 2 network games next week. We were going to do it yesterday, but Jack's internet broke, so we had to cancel it last minute. Oh no, we're putting the reserves out for this, aren't we? Pick youth players. There you go, bunch of youths. Right, come on then, do a football. Can we qualify here? I've just noticed Uta Arad are second in the group. Roma are having a terrible time of things. How do Roma keep losing to everybody? What's going on there? As I'm a little bit further away from the aircon, I've turned it back up to high while I'm up here. Looks like the POV camera of that train guy who was happy to see a train. Yeah, I do need to sort out the camera for when I'm standing up. Oh, that's a lovely, lovely first touch and finish from Simonovic. I guess what we could do is angle it up a bit so it's a little bit further away from me. And then sort of bring it down like this. Is that better? I do have to look right up in the air now, but at least I'm not completely right up close to my face. So that's probably better. I'm seeing this formation a lot. Is it the most meta formation at the moment? Anything narrow is good. So diamond 4-3-1-2, 4-1, 3-2. Narrow is the way to go, it seems, at the moment. Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. I think we qualify here. Does anyone know where's best to get the most up-to-date data for a new FM save? If you go onto my YouTube channel and click the premiere that's coming out tomorrow, you can already see the description. I've got links in the description of that for my new series that starts tomorrow morning, 11 AM. It doesn't have a name. I need a name. My PSG series. But that's not what it is. But it sort of is. But yeah, there's links in there for what you can do to set it up so that you've got up-to-date transfers and you start at the end of the season that's just finished. So yeah, brings it up to date. The Mbappe series. Yeah, I guess that's the best thing to call it. What has just gone on there? We've scored some bizarre goals today. Let's have a look at this one. What's my thought process behind choosing PSG? Watch the trailer, and then that will explain all. I didn't choose PSG. Circumstances chose me. Killian Me Softly, I like it. That's a great name. I need to get Clates to change the thumbnail. Someone get Clates on the phone. We need a new thumbnail. Stat! Mbappe, pal. Nice. Come on, let's have another one. The Conference League's easy. Who said this was hard? Probably nobody ever. Oh, Tommy. Every game he does that goal. Tom Wooster. It's very easy to go. Don't shoot against Tom Wooster. Just go round him. He doesn't know what to do if you try and run round him with the ball. Oh, dear. Come on, Tommy. Yikes. Good to see the collision detections on point as well between him and... Was it Godwin or Guzman? Someone was in there. And he absolutely clattered into him and it was like they never touched. Our defender should have been knocked over there. And for my final trick, Sandro. Any luck getting a not terrible keeper? No. No luck at all. No. I'm just serious. You can see my Pokemon cards on my top shelf with the camera angle up there. Good job the top shelf is tidy. You can barely see Ivan Toney's boot, though. It's all the way down there. It's not small, it's far away. And small. Ah, I've got a bin bag stuck to my foot and I don't even know where it's come from. Ah! Everything's going wrong. Aaron Jarvis has got a European hat-trick. What's going on? What a man. Oh, he hasn't got a hat-trick. He scored 3 goals, though. Why did it only show him as scoring 2 goals? There must have been one disallowed that I just wasn't paying attention to. Far post corners are as good as near post corners, yeah. Basically, the trick to corners, and this was through many years of scientific research and trying all manner of combinations of things, I have decided that from corners, if you aim for your tallest player, that's probably a good idea. I figured that out all by myself. Aim for the tallest player and try and have some tall players. And then you'll be quite good at corners. Teams turn down Doddy. They don't know what they're missing. If you're in the championship, you want Doddy. Yeah. Would need to do some research to see if it's believable. Believe me, I've done the research. Unless they can't head the ball. Doesn't matter. They don't need to be able to head the ball. They literally just need to be tall. Kadrich can't head the ball, but he scores loads of headers. Yeah, being able to head, not really relevant. It's similar to how strikers don't need to be able to finish. They just need to be quick. If you're aiming for someone at a corner, they just need to have the best jumping reach. It's not even about being tall. It's about having the best jumping reach. As long as their jumping reach is as high as possible. If their jumping reach is much higher than everyone else around them, they will score goals from corners. Just like if your striker is faster than the defenders they're running against, they will score goals. It doesn't matter if they can finish. Because they'll get so many chances that they'll score some. They'll score plenty of them. Second yellow card, heard that. You must be puzzled having gotten my draft that day. I had a different plan for that tournament. And I'm glad I never had to put it into action, because... Reconsider that after 2-2. You're not at a 9, like 13 for finishing if you're a league and striker. Yeah, but then he wouldn't be playing for us, would he? So it's all relative to the team you're managing. If he was a league and striker, he wouldn't be playing for Tour. So that's why I just got him, because he's quick. And he does score lots of goals. Unfortunately, he just does them in clumps. He loves a clump, that boy. Oh, clumpy tutu. That's why we don't have a really prolific goal scorer in this team, because we don't have a really fast striker. Fleming is an idiot, and he's been absolutely saved. I think that's Devon Creel getting across and making that block. Fleming is a numbskull. Starting a new unemployed, no badges, no experience, so signed a 6'5" Japanese centre-back for an Indonesian team where everyone in the league is 5'7" at the tallest, so we're pretty successful at corners. Yeah, exactly. Do I have play for set pieces on? No. I don't particularly get a lot of corners, but because I've got so many giants in the team, I guess they're more often highlights because they're more likely to be a threat. We've got Cadridge at 6'8", Creel I think is 6'5", Wellington I think is 6'5", and then we've got Sandro's 6'6", Guzman's 6'4", I think. We've got a lot of very big boys, so our corners are always going to be more of a threat. So they're more likely to be in highlights. I will hydrate with my Evian sparkling. Sparkly. That's a basketball team. Yeah, we're big boys. Now we just need to get some pace in the team as well to complement the height, and we'll have everything. Football Manager's all about the physical attributes. They're the only ones that matter. Just be physical. Either big or strong, or little and fast. Or in an ideal world, big, strong, and really fast. That's your perfect player. Oh, look at that. From 6'8" Cadridge as well. I guess he's got some technical attributes as well in there. But the physical ones are more important. Get it on his head. I love the fact we've got so many giants we can afford to have a 6'5" player taking our corners. Yeah, Erling Haaland's probably... I would suggest Erling Haaland would probably be quite good at football. He'd be probably quite a useful player to add to a Football Manager team. That's my tip of the day. Have you ever thought the chat would hydrate me as Zealand needed to do in the network game? I'm not sure what you mean. Do you mean like when they just spam hydrate? You can't do that in my chat. I've got it set up that you can only ask me to hydrate a certain number of times an hour, I think. I challenge you to try and spam hydrate at me, and you won't get very far. I'm a rascal. There you go. Rory Bailey coming on in the Premier League. His Premier League debut. That's what I'm talking about. He's 6'4" as well. Our latest giant coming through. There's no links under the Mbappe trailer. There should be. Hold on. Let me have a look. Shut up, Paskev. It definitely is. There you go. And there they are. Hey! It's the Lee Shoe game. Lee 1, Shoe 0. Oh, we're up into the Conference League spot. That's the one everybody wants. Up, 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 up. Didn't even realise the Premier had a trailer. I didn't know that was a thing you could do. It's been something you've been able to do for a couple of years, but I've never done it before. But I thought, it's the season of experimentation. Let's put a trailer on the Premier. Yeah, I suspect it'll be something I do with all my Premiers now, because it's been quite good in building up some hype early on. I mean, it's not anything. It's just the first 2 minutes of the video. I could have made a standalone trailer, but figured those first 2 minutes of the video explain everything that needs to be explained. Right, Guzman's leaving then. He's off to Olympiacos. Another one that we've done very good business on. Bought him for 4 million. Used him loads in the Championship. Not so much in the Premier League. Sold him for 12 million. Beautiful. No handsome YouTuber mentioned in his trailer, though. Whose trailer? My trailer? What? I'm so confused. I don't know what's going on. The 50 best players in the world. Tamang's on the list. Not one Leamington player on the list. Hideous. Sergio Delgado's still there, though. What a man. Michele's there as well. These are our boys from Earth 1. Adeyemi. Who else have we got from Earth 1 who's made it onto the list? No one on there, I don't think. Pedro Luis at Bayern Munich. I mean, he's not played at all this season, but he's still considered the 23rd best player in the world. That says a lot about how much they hoard players. Munia, I think I had at Real Madrid. I don't consider him one of my boys because I didn't sign him. Mikkel Tadzi we had somewhere. Was that at Real Madrid as well, maybe? Idoloff. We had him at Dortmund. I think. Did we have him at Dortmund? It's weird that he's gone to Dortmund in this Earth as well. Wasn't Mooney the superstar at City? He might have been. Lovrich was on there, was he? So Lovrich actually playing has made him better than Hoyenhal. Who'd have thought? Hoyenhal not playing for years as Man City's backup, and Lovrich playing regularly for Napoli. Lovrich has developed better. I can't see him on there. Where are you seeing him? Lovrich. Or are you just speculating? Love Rich. I'm not seeing him. I'm really confused now. It's not on there. Flip. Does that say Flip? Thank you for 20 months. We should be smashing Coventry around. It's an international break. The international break is the age-old celebration of knocking a Coventry team about a bit. Oh, in fact, now we're playing in Birmingham. We can't. Once we're back in Leamington, we can knock the Coventry teams around a little bit. For now, let's pick someone who we should be able to smash. Cradley. That sounds like a great name. We got any Cradleyites in. You're about to get Leamingtoned. Samak, thank you very much for 12 months. There you go. Time to beat Cradley. Complete. Right, so that's 2 players, both sold for about 12 million. Can we actually get back above the wage budget now? Back below the wage budget, even. It's still not letting me do it! Once they've gone, we'll be fine. I don't understand why it's not letting me move money around. We've got all this transfer budget and we can't spend it because we've got no spare wage budget. It's very upsetting. They're trying to make me do sensible financial management and I don't like it. I want to manage the money like a numpty. It's what I love. They're taking one of my great loves away from me. Not okay. Let's go beat Cradley. That'll make me feel better. Come here, Cradley. The other issue about having the aircon on is because my blinds are up and my window is open. I can see everybody walking past, and they can see me. Normally, people can't see in, but anyone walking past my house can see right into my office. Can see me standing here with 3 cameras pointing at me, 4 different lights. You can't even see what's on this wall. Let's turn the camera around. This wall, look how covered in stuff that wall is. They think I'm a lunatic. Wearing headphones, talking into a microphone that seems to be magically floating. They can probably see the YouTube plaques as well. I'm losing my anonymity here. This is like Clark Kent taking off his spectacles. They now know I'm Superman. My neighbours might have suspected it, but they now know. Oh, hay fever as well. Thought the room was bigger. No, seriously, it's a tiny cupboard. It is not a big room. Room's so packed, moving house is going to be insane. I mean, to be fair, twice as much stuff of this was in my garage before we moved. Half of the stuff that used to be in the backdrop of the garage is in my storage unit now. So, it won't be that bad. I could box this down into 4 or 5 boxes probably. And then they'd just get moved from this office to the office in the new place when we move. Shouldn't be that hard. Prov91, thank you very much for 3 months. Did we beat Cradley? I didn't even look. Cradley! Yeah! Only 6-1. That's poor from us. We should be better than that. I will hydrate. Cheers. Lovely. Right, time to go back down, I think. It's too hot up here. Heat rises and I'm too tall. Oh! My knees hurt! Hi, I'm down here! This way. You need the other camera on. This way. There we go. You cannot get the staff. Goodness me. Tony, how are you doing? How is the sparkling... I don't know whether you're asking, how's the sparkling water, or how is that sparkling water? I'm going to assume it's the first one and you're not being unnecessarily aggressive. It's fine. It's, you know, water. Imagine if that was fizzy. It's a bit like that. It's fine. It was for the novelty value. Might need to arrange a friendly with the Welsh team. Howkin and Flint Mountain. We're too far from Wales. Remember, in the network game, we're basically in Wales. Liverpool is the capital of Wales. We established that on stream. So we're basically in Wales in the network game with Everton. That makes it okay. That aircon is going to be too loud, isn't it? Let's turn it down. Now we're down here. We've dropped down to 24 degrees. Sparkling water's a novelty. Not sparkling water in general, but sparkling Evian in a can. Yes, that's a novelty. I'd never seen such a thing. Kevin Hatton, injured on international duty. Come on, little Kev. I mean, we've put a lot of hope on him recently as our 5-star potential goalkeeper. Well, two things. He's dropped down to 4-star potential. I've just noticed he's only 5'11", so what's the point? Unless he's going to have a massive growth spurt. I'm never going to play a 5'11" goalkeeper. Where's the best place to meet me later in the year? Are you asking me where's the best place at Comic-Con, or asking if Comic-Con is the best place? I'm always at events, so it depends what events you're at. And how much later in the year. I mean, tomorrow I'm speaking at the Autism Show at the XL. Next weekend I'm speaking at the Autism Show at the NEC in Birmingham. Also next weekend I'm going to be managing Team YouTube at the Content Creators Cup in Ilkeston. I'm putting some miles in next weekend. What else have I got coming up? I'm speaking at Summer in the City at the XL in August. I am a guest at Insomnia at the NEC in August. I am hoping to be at the Pokemon World Championships at the XL, although I haven't got that arranged yet. I'll be at Comic-Con in October in London, probably doing the panel there again, in which case the best way to find me is to come and watch the panel and then just grab me afterwards. I'll be at EGX as well. I'll be at Birmingham Comic-Con later in the year. There's probably some events that I'm forgetting. TwitchCon, of course. I'm at TwitchCon next month in Amsterdam. There's plenty of opportunities to meet me. Why has Theodros got one cap for England? What have I missed during my holiday? Nothing weird happened at all. Nobody managed England for one game just to give him a cap. Nobody at all. God, petrol's cheap. I know. I'm actually getting the train to London tomorrow for the first time in about 3 years, because once I factored in the cost of parking all day at the XL, which is like 20 quid, and driving there and back, and the cost of the diesel to get there and back, for the first time probably ever, it's actually cheaper for me to get the train. So I'm slumming it with the peasants on the train tomorrow, and I'm not looking forward to it. Am I meeting the network save boys? I'm sure there'll be plenty of times we see each other. I mean, yes. Let's answer the question simply. 3 of the 4 of us are going to be at TwitchCon. And then I imagine I'll see Ben at something later in the year. I would imagine Football Manager will invite us down again this year, I guess. I don't know. Everything else is pretty much back to normal, so I assume we'll be heading down there around the launch of FM23. We usually do. Trains are great. They're not. They're full of strangers. I don't mind riding trains for fun. I don't like riding trains when I've got to get somewhere. I don't like leaving my travel in control of somebody else. Smithy, thank you for 13 months. SI won't invite Zealand over. I mean, you say that. They used to fly Loki over. I mean, I know it's not as far, but they covered everybody's travel costs when they used to do them. Probably not all the way from America, but I don't know. Who knows? They might do. Why have I just made 2 substitutions on 48 minutes? What's gone on there? Also for his videos with youth ratings. Oh, they'll forgive him for that. The amount of new eyes he's put on the product. Obviously, I don't get to see any of the figures, but I imagine sales in the US are well up since Zealand has exploded. I would be very surprised. They know he's in the UK in the next couple of weeks. I would be very surprised if he doesn't get invited into the offices while he's here. I'm sure he'll be invited in. After he made that video saying they lied, I still wouldn't be surprised at all. I predict at some point in the next month there'll be a picture appearing on his Twitter of him grinning in front of the Football Manager sign in their little bar that they've got inside the office. The same picture we all post the first time we go down there. Although they're in the new office now, which I've not been to yet, so I don't even know if the sign moved over. Yeah, ultimately, the only way Sports Interactive can control what any of us say is to bring us all under contract and pay us a load of money to do as we're told. And then we immediately lose any credibility anyway and people stop watching. So it's just part of using social media marketing, isn't it? They've got a bunch of passionate influencers who love their product and talk about it all the time and get new eyes on it all the time. They have to accept that sometimes they'll get criticised by those people and just accept that that's part of it. There's far more net positive for Sports Interactive that we've got this whole community that exists now. I'm sure Zealand has generated far more sales for them than he cost them by saying they said a pork pie. It would be frustrating for me if I were you. I'm an American. Playing FM has nothing to do with Zed. Following you and not liking FIFA got me hooked to FM. I mean, we'll never know who exactly does what, who's brought who in, until they bring in, like, creator code things like they do on Fortnite. But they're never going to do that. But ultimately, it's the community at large that is bringing all these new faces on. Football Manager has exploded in the last few years, and a lot of that, well, not a lot of it, some of that has to go down to the explosion of content creation. Hello. Next Sunday, I'm managing Team YouTube at the Content Creators Cup. Next Saturday, I'm speaking at the Autism Show in Birmingham. I see. Anna's injured herself on stuff in the bedroom. Right. We win another football match. Hooray! I do like winning football matches. How's Simonovic getting on? That was his first Premier League goal, was it? He also scored in Europe. I still have high hopes for this boy. Right, we play Roma next. We have already qualified, I think. But I guess we can't put the reserves out against Roma, can we? Is there any benefit to finishing top of the group as opposed to just qualifying? Is it like the Europa League? Do we get a bye in the next round or avoid certain teams if we win the group? How does it work? So group stage. Ah, yeah. Okay. So winning the group gets us to the second knockout round. So we do need to put the first team out against Roma, beat them, win the group, and then we can put the reserves out for the last round. Content Creators Club will be a vlog too. I don't know. Maybe. Might not get much of an opportunity. I've got a football team to manage. I probably need to bring a cameraman with me, but I haven't really given it much thought. Does anyone live local to Ilkeston? And won't steal my camera if I ask you to film me for the day? Do you think they'll play another Football Manager football game? Probably at some point, maybe. Don't know. Do I know any of the players playing at the Creators Cup? I mean, I'm vaguely aware of some of them. I've had a look through the squad list. There's names I recognise. I don't know any of them personally. Have a look who's been announced at this point. So, Team YouTube are these people. So yeah, I've never met any of these people before. I'm vaguely aware of a few of them. That guy's quite good, I think. This guy at the bottom, I've heard he's really good. Doesn't seem like a lot of people. 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, a 17-man squad. Just need to draft Ben Foster in to be in goal. As long as they can fit into a special K, I'm happy. That's all we need, really. No tall, meaty boys. One of them's tall, isn't he? We looked through the other day and there was someone who was like 6'4", apparently. Unless he was lying. Was it this guy? Yeah, 6'4", apparently. So we aim for him at corners. That's the plan. He looks quite tall as well. There you go, 6'5". We send him up for corners. If he's the goalkeeper, he's going forward for every corner. If he's 6'5". Have those two stood on the near post at corners. Where is he? Him at 6'4" and him at 6'5". Both of them on near post. Sorted. FG is not 6'4". He's joking. Well, that doesn't really help me with planning my tactics, does it? Are the rest of them joking as well? Are they joking about their positions? Who's this guy? What's it? He doesn't exist, apparently. 5'6" midfielder. Is he joking? Who's he? 6'4" forward. Is he joking? I don't know who any of these people are. I don't know if they're tall or not. This is no help to me at all. 6'1" defender. 6'1". They all think they're 6 feet tall. If this is a bunch of tiny people when they arrive, I'll be furious. Everyone thinks they're a striker as well. We've been playing 11 strikers. 5'6" defender. Fullback, I hope he means. $5'10". We already know he's 6'5" and a goalkeeper. He's already my favourite. 5'7" midfielder. 6 foot midfielder. At least a few of them don't think they're strikers. There you go. 16 years old? Bit young. He should be on Team TikTok, these little rascals. The youngsters. And then the other team, Team TikTok. Definitely don't know who any of these are. The only stuff I watch on TikTok is couples doing practical jokes on each other. And none of these look like women in their mid-30s to mid-40s playing jokes on their bearded husbands. So this is all a bit beyond me as far as TikTok goes. I assume they're all like 9. That's hashtag United's manager's son, the 16-year-old. I see. Well, if his dad turns up, I'll have to let him know who the real manager is around here. What if the guys on Team TikTok get some of the most views on FIFA on YouTube? But why is he on Team TikTok then? Boo hiss. Why is Fleming's injured? Fleming's out for 4 weeks. Right, a draw here will be enough for us to win the group. Obviously, we beat them at their place, so we want to beat them again. And show that we are the best team in the group. Hey. Oh, now I've stolen that one off of Cadrich. What a rascal. This was Cadrich's goal. Okay, maybe. Maybe I'll let him have it. He's rubbish at football. You don't want him. Good. I mean, I did mention in the group chat yesterday that I've not been involved in a football match in any way for about 20 years. So since I played for Blackstones many years ago, that was the last time I had any involvement in any kind of football match at any level. So super. 5'6" Chris MD has more than 5 million YouTube subs. He's a great footballer. If you don't play him, you may receive a lot of abuse. Who's going to abuse me? I'm not afraid of a bunch of kids. Just get them all running. That's what we need. Everyone needs to run a lot. I want high fitness levels. And then we're just going to hoof the ball up to the big lads. That's our tactic. We're going to play 5 defenders, 5 strikers. And no, we're not going to bother with the midfield. Midfields are for cowards. And we're just going to hoof the ball up to the big boys and have the little boys running in between them. Blob Snail, thank you for 8 months. Can't wait for Kev Ball. It's going to be great. Maybe take the YouTube boys to Wales for a friendly with Halkin and Flint Mountain. That's an excellent idea. I need to get them all over to Birmingham next Saturday. I'm only needed for an hour at the autism show. We can then do a training session in the NEC car park. Like real pros. Someone get Solihull on the phone. Can we train at Solihull while I'm over there? I know my way around. I played there for years. I want the entire squad in the NEC car park, 1 o'clock next Saturday. They're just running laps. They don't need to bring... We don't need any balls. They're just running laps of the NEC. Make sure they're fit. Solihull are a bit upset after losing to Grimsby. Well, this is how we cheer them up. Team YouTube wins on their behalf. We're beating Roma. Ha 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 ha. Oh, we're not just beating them. We're comfortably beating them. We're so much better than them. It's absurd. Aaron Jarvis loves the Conference League. He is Mr. Conference League. It's all going swimmingly. So all we need to do, run some laps to make sure our fitness is good. That looked like handball. And then practice our near post corners. Oh, look at it. Look at it. Look at it. This is a little taste of what's going to be coming to Team TikTok. Near post corners OP in real life too. Yes, they are. I'm just planning on taking along a bunch of little coloured paper plates with numbers on the top. And I'll take the drone and we'll just film it from above and it'll look like we're playing in 2D. That's my real plan. I'm sure everyone will be up for that. Throw some pervert corners in there too. Yeah, absolutely. I think I can safely yell from the touchline, do a pervert corner. And as long as my team knows what it means, the other team aren't going to know. I don't think there's any VAR, so I won't need to tell the ref to stop fingering himself. Which is a positive. I don't really want to have to yell that. And we have qualified for the second knockout round. Because I am a modern day hero. Guzman, who we've just agreed to sell, has just had a cracking game playing at right back against Roma. Olympiacos have got a gem there. Why is Chris not in this afternoon? I need to get him to Ilkeston for Sunday. I need him to be cameraman and editor. How could they not understand what do a football means? It's clear. Just do a football. Posture check. There we go. Ooh, lovely. My new suit has arrived, though. That arrived today. I need to try that on. Got to decide whether I'm going full suit. Because I have bought the trousers to a suit. Or am I going to wear shorts on the bottom half? A lot of it's going to depend on what the weather's like. What's the weather like next Sunday in Ilkeston? If it's going to rain, I'm not going. So they need to be aware of that. I'm not going to be a Wally with a brolly. Right, next Sunday. Reasonable weather by the looks of it. Hope it's that Pokemon suit. I'm afraid too fat for the Pokemon suit. They don't do it in full size sizes. They don't do it in adult sizes. My worry of going with the shorts on the bottom is they might think I'm player manager and I don't want to have to go on the pitch at any point. I'll dislocate myself. I don't even know which part. Probably multiple parts. Everything's getting dislocated if I end up on the pitch. I don't want to have to drive home dislocated. But I think it's roll on, roll off subs. So if they are all tiny, I might bring myself on for every corner and just stand at the near post. Get him to aim for me. In my suit. I mean, it's content. Oh, imagine if I come on wearing my suit and score a near post headed corner as the football manager guy who's there. The sole football manager guy. The one representative of the game that made the near post corner famous. It'd be glorious. Of course, I don't have any contact lenses anymore, so I'd have to either risk breaking my glasses or just not really be able to see. Which, both of them feel equally disastrous. Veraccia has bruised his shin. Oh, see, that's me in a suit. Get Edgar David's glasses for the corner. Look, if their manager's allowed to be a player manager, why can't I? I will not take off my tie. I'm not one of these hideous modern day managers who manage in their pajamas. I will wear a suit because I'm an adult. We're winning again, boys and girls. This is good stuff. Wear a visor and whistle a la Ted Lasso. I'm too much of a manager to dress as a coach. I've no need to have a whistle. Owning a whistle is getting dangerously close to owning a tracksuit. And I have standards. I might get a full-length Arsene Wenger style coat. I suspect it might be a little bit too warm for that. Would I bring my bell when players score? I mean, that's a good idea. I've got my handheld shaky bell. I might buy a cowbell to take with me. I will be shouting encourage from the touchline every 10 minutes. Obviously, you can only shout every 10 minutes. Why didn't we get a free kick there? So they got a player sent off, but we didn't get to take the free kick. Rubbish. Don't forget, of course, you can all come along and watch this football match. Tickets are still available. You can watch me make my competitive managerial debut. This is my first step towards being next Manchester City manager, presumably. Tell the players you hate them so they score hat-tricks. Oh, yeah, I've already got that one ready. Not going across the pond. I mean, that's a terrible attitude. You should. It's a wonderful trip. Think of everything you could get done while you're here. We've got so many American sweet shops here as well now. Hey. Don't forget, if you shout encourage and then your team scores, to cancel the shout. I'm not sure how to cancel a shout in real life. Right. Come on, chaps. Let's tighten up now. Get Rory on again. See, we're getting the youngsters through. Don't forget to shout if the other team gets a free kick, negates it. That's a good point. Just screaming. They get a free kick on the edge of the area. I'm just there. Ah! Rory Bailey's just scored his first ever goal for the club. That's what you get for being 6'4". You can't teach that. Beautiful. He's got gloves on as well. Right, they've just conceded a goal against an 18-year-old wearing a pair of gloves. They may as well just accept their relegation now. There's no hope for them. Come along, let's have another one. Beautiful. What a football team we are. Webby! 4-1. We are good at football. We are good at football. We are good at football. Da, 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 da. Proper traditional football chant, that one. If you're not from the UK, you might not have heard that one. You hear that around the grounds on a Saturday afternoon. Every team sings it, unless they're not good at football. If you've never heard that, you probably support a team that aren't very good at football. But teams that are good at football, they chant that song more than any other, probably. Yeah, we'll all be looking back in years to come about how my glorious managerial debut leading Team YouTube to great success ultimately led to me becoming England manager and Sir Kevin Chapman when we win the World Cup in 2030. I think 8 years is enough time for me to go from managing Team YouTube to managing England and winning the World Cup. I think that's a reasonable time frame. I've played non-league to legend enough times to know Vincent Kompany didn't last long at Arsenal, did he? Wowzers. How long was he there? Can't even see. How long was he there? Not very long is the answer. So he was sacked at Man City last year, hired by Arsenal in January, sacked in November. Wow. He is in the England Hall of Fame, though, which is worrisome. England. So Vincent Kompany is right up there. How is he all the way up there? 4 Premier League wins with Manchester City. He did win the FA Cup with Arsenal as well and still got sacked. Wow. That seems a little harsh. And there's little old me. Manager of Leamington. So where are Arsenal in the league? 12th. That's not too bad. Where's the game being played? Ilkeston. Ilkeston. No man's land between Nottingham and Derby, I think it is. Oh, there's a live stream of it as well. Ilkeston Town FC's new manor ground. Well, there you go. And it looks like there's a live stream. So it's going to stream live on YouTube. Oh, God, last year, Team YouTube lost 8-3. That's probably not great. So this was the last live stream. Let's. Oh, it was raining. So they played back in October. I wasn't involved back in October. There's commentary and all sorts. I want to see the manager. Where's the manager? Does the manager get a lot of camera time? I need to wear a more brightly coloured suit, I think, so I get proper camera time. That's my director of football for some loans. Well, I have asked for Ben Foster. If we're Team YouTube, can we have Ben Foster, please? He's not got a club currently. Therefore, not currently a professional footballer. So I think it's completely fair that full-time YouTuber Ben Foster comes and plays for Team YouTube. There was a fight in last year's. Oh my word. If any of them fight, I just won't be able to stop laughing at how pathetic it is. It's a charity football game that doesn't matter. Oh my word. Oh, they're actually going to increase my wage budget finally. Lovely. Does this mean we can actually do some transfers again? Hooray. Can we adjust this around a bit as well? Phenomenal. Goalkeepers do nothing anyway. Exactly. I mean, I think it's a fair bet that someone who played Premier League football for the best part of 20 years, even if he is a goalkeeper, could probably do a job at centre-back for me. I'd even, if they let me have him, I'll even agree to not playing him in goal. It was a 35-year-old punching a 16-year-old. Tell me that 35-year-old hasn't been invited back this time. What have I let myself in for here? Come on. Let's look at all the players. I don't really know what we need going into this transfer window. Our squad is pretty good. Some power move that, getting a professional keeper to play him outfield. Why not? Right. What do we need? We are a little light in many positions. I mean, I guess we need a goalkeeper. So if we look at players, you've got perhaps we need more than 3-star, 2-star and above. So we still want rid of Sandro. We need a goalkeeper more than anything. I guess just youngsters. Mbappe did some YouTube videos. I don't want him coming in and demanding the manager's replace, though. That's the risk of him deciding he doesn't want half the squad. Might just wait until December. I don't need to be looking yet. I don't know why I'm looking now. Probably to avoid taking my medicine against Manchester United, as we're about to do. Come on! I'll get a lot of that next week as well. How far away is Ilkeston from where I live? What have I let myself in for? What time's kickoff? 16. Oh no, it's walking. It's a 16-hour walk. I probably won't walk. About an hour, hour and a half. Okay. Depending on which route I take. That's doable. Oh, are we losing? Rubbish. I want to look at the ground. Ilkeston Town FC. New Manor Ground. Images. We don't want to see the fact we've conceded a goal. This is the glorious stadium that we're playing at. That looks pretty nice, actually. Excellent stuff. I assume there's catering for managers. Got a lovely clock tower. Nice. Do, 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 do. I think I've only ever been to Ilkeston once before in my life, not to the football ground. I had to go and see a mortgage broker there many, many years ago, back when I worked for the bank. I remember going to get my lunch from a chip shop, and they had scallops in the chip shop, which are battered potato slices. They were delicious. So if that's what they do in Ilkeston, I'm having scallops for lunch that day. Jack, thank you for 40 months. I need to check that they are a thing that exists and I didn't dream it. No, Google, I didn't mean scallops. That's a fish thing. I mean scallops. Don't show me scallops. Yeah, that's what it was. Scallop. It's not scallops. I'm sure it's scallops. I'm confused. Scallop versus scallop. Forget the Manchester United game. This is the big news. Scallop versus scallop. What's the difference? I mean, that's no use at all. That doesn't help me. Used to be 12p when I was a boy. Nice. Potato fritters. What an obnoxious thing to call it. We're not fancy. Scallop. None of this helps. Well, anyway, they were nice. Scallop. Is that what they call? I don't remember. This was 15 years ago. All I remember, it was basically battered potato slices. It was like fish batter, but on slices of potato, and it was really nice, and I want it. It's the main reason I agreed to be part of this. So I want to go and get my face wrapped around some of that. It's pronounced scallop, but spelled scallop. Right, okay, here we go. Scalloped potatoes. No, it's not that. It wasn't like a dish of something. They were individual battered potato slices. It's not that. It's not the fish thing. That's it. Potato scallop. Yes! Yes! It's this! It's this! This is what it is! These! Better known as fritters in Scotland. Yeah, but Scottish people say lots of things weird. I'm not going to trust that. Yeah, this is what I want. I've only ever had it in Ilkeston. at one particular chip shop. I need to find the name of the mortgage broker I went to see, and it's the chip shop that was in near the car park they were in. Lots of people saying fritter. That's not what it was called, though. Fritters in Nottingham. Well, Nottingham is basically Ilkeston. Now I'm confused. Fritters and English chippies have fish between two pieces of potato usually. Yeah, there was no fish in it. It was just a slice of potato battered. Well, it wasn't just one. I had a little tray of them. They were delicious. Let's hope it's still there after 15 years. Well, if it's not, it's a complete waste of a Sunday. They're at every chippy in the West Midlands. Oh, I'm off to the West Midlands then. They do them everywhere here in Yorkshire. This might finally be a reason for me to venture north of the wall. I tend to avoid going north. I've never been further north than Blackpool. Chippy won't be open on a Sunday. Oh. Why? Why would the chippy not be open on a Sunday? I don't understand. Do they share a building with a church? Sorry, no chips today. Today we're singing about God. We'll be back tomorrow with the battered potatoes. Roast fish and chips on a Sunday. People who fancy fish and chips on a Sunday, I guess. I don't know. Who has Nando's on a Wednesday? Chip shops just don't open on Sunday. Chip shops near me open on Sunday. Chip shops near where I used to live open on Sunday. I'm not familiar with this chip shops not opening on Sunday nonsense. English people. Now Blackpool is mentioned, please enlighten me. Blackpool versus Brighton, which is better? Brighton. Blackpool is a dump. It's horrible. That's a lie. Chip shops do open on Sunday. Yeah, of course they do. I've had chips on a Sunday loads of times. In fact, when I was a kid, it was pretty much Sunday morning tradition. We'd go swimming, and on the way home, we'd go to the chippy and get a bag of chips and some scraps. That was Sunday. Right, Mertha wants a new contract, which is reasonable. Both chippies in town I live in are open on Sunday, but shorter hours. Well, now I need to check the chip shops in Ilkeston, or else I've wasted. Like I say, waste of a Sunday. If we've got this wrong, what are scraps? The best part of going to the chip shop. We're not getting the scrap map out. It's Friday afternoon. I haven't got the energy for the scrap map. It will just start an argument if we go too deep into what scraps are. They're the little bits of batter that fall off the fish when it's frying. And you get them from the chip shop. They're free. You get scraps for free at the chip shop. And you have them with your chips. And it's delicious. And anyone who doesn't have scraps on their chips is a little bit deviant as far as I'm concerned. There you go, look. Scraps. Chips with scraps. Chips with scraps on. Scraps, scraps, scraps. Love them. Best thing about chips, the scraps. I wonder if scraps were the origin of popcorn chicken or popcorn shrimp. Both popcorn chicken and popcorn shrimp have some chicken or shrimp in them. This is just batter. It's just the scraps of batter. Chippies in the UK have what Aussies call dim sim, which is like fried. No, they do not. I don't even trust chip shops that sell stuff like pizzas and kebabs. A proper chip shop will sell fish, chips, pies, sausages and saveloys, two very different things. Stuff like fish cakes. And not much else. I can just about cope if they want to do a burger. But once you start delving into stuff like pizzas and kebabs, that's not a chip shop anymore. That's just a generic dirty takeaway. Oh yeah, they do stuff like mushy peas. But yeah, I've been to parts of the country where they have chip shops that have the big kebab thing in. Not a chip shop. That's just a kebab shop that happens to put a bit of fish in the fryer occasionally. Fish would be cod in most places. Most places I go to, you choose between cod, haddock, or plaice. Yeah, they do mushy peas, beans, curry sauce, gravy, exactly. And none of them should be anywhere near your chips, you perverts. The only thing that should go on your chips is scraps. Really want fish and chips now, thanks, Kev. You're welcome. I warned you earlier in the week, I've gone on a diet. We're going to be talking about food a lot because I'm hungry. Chips and gravy is top tier. Only if the tier list you're putting it on is like a tier list of things that have been ruined by making them wet. Then chips and gravy would be top of that list. Chips are supposed to be crispy, not wet. Crispy on the outside, fluffy in the middle. I can't even begin to imagine what chip dust is. What on earth is chip dust? Is that the same as chip spice? The people of Hull have got chip spice right. Chips and cheese, ridiculous. You eat it before it gets soggy. What, you swallow it whole within a quarter of a second of the gravy touching it? I could just about handle it if they had chips and like a pot of gravy and dipped the chips into the gravy individually. That would be okay. But taking chips and just covering it in gravy, perverted. That's almost as bad as the people who put their cereal in the bowl, pour the milk on, and then smush it up with a spoon. Oh, I just want to be... I've never been so close to being sick all over my office floor. At the thought of people smashing their cereal into the milk to make sure it goes soggy. If I had my way, I'd have a little assistant with a tiny little milk jug who, as I got a spoonful of cereal out of my bowl that had no milk in, just cereal, as I'm bringing the spoon up towards my mouth, about here, the assistant comes in with a jug of milk, just pours a little bit over the top as I'm approaching the mouth, so it just hits the cereal at like the moment it goes into my mouth, the milk hits. So you've got the milk and the cereal together, but the cereal isn't wet. Ugh. Sensory thing, Kev. I'm the same with chips and cereal. Good, you're very wise. Eat cereal, take a sip of milk. That works. There's this thing you can get that it's like, I don't even know how to Google it. It was basically a container that had cereal in the bottom and milk on the top, and you would like, it was for having it in the car, and it would like combine the two as you tipped it. It would combine it as it hit you, and that seemed perfect. We were talking about this on stream a few years ago, and someone suggested a bowl to me where basically you have, let's see if I can find this. I have got this bowl somewhere. Bowl to stop soggy cereal. See, it's not these bowls seem sensible, keep them separate, but my one had a little ledge in it where you'd put the milk in at the bottom and then put the ledge on and put the cereal on top of the ledge, but the ledge didn't fully cover the bottom, so when you were ready to have a bowl, have a spoon of cereal, you could just push some of the cereal across into the pool of milk and then immediately scoop it back out again so it didn't get really wet. That was a great bowl. I think it was this. Was that it? No, they're separators down the middle. Yeah, don't like it soggy. Crunch Cup. Is that what it's called? Hold on. I now need to look. Crunch Cup XL. Is that what you've written? Crunch Cup XL. Oh, yes. Yes, this. This is perfect. So you keep the cereal and the milk separately, and then when you're ready to have a little bit, you just pour it. You get a little bit of cereal, a little bit of milk. They combine as they hit your mouth. That is perfection. Oh, yes. That's what I'm talking about. I appreciate the journey from crunchy to soggy. No, don't want anything soggy. I mean, like when I was a kid, if we would have, I mean, I serve my own meals now, so this never happens. But like if we're having a meal that has like, so let's say fish fingers, chips and beans, proper kid food. If those beans touch my fish fingers or my chips, I'm not eating that meal. My food is ruined now. I've got bean juice on things that are supposed to be dry. I'm afraid I will need a replacement meal. Thank you, mother. So I used to get my beans in a little bowl separate from my fish fingers and my chips because I just don't, I ain't have, stuff that's supposed to be dry shouldn't be wet. And that brings us full circle back round to why you shouldn't be covering your chips in gravy. I don't mind dipping chips in gravy. It's fine. The taste of gravy on chips is fine. It's what it does to the chips when you just let it congeal there. Ugh. Right, come on, let's do a football. We'd like a winner here. That sounds very ADHD. Did I ever get tested? No. The more I read, the more I think I've got a little bit of autism and a little bit of ADHD in me. But I've never actually been tested for either. Although my talk at the autism show tomorrow is talking about how I've self-diagnosed myself with autism. But I'm starting to think I've actually got a little bit of both. A little bit of a mix. Why do I put milk on my cereal then? Because the combination of cereal and milk as a flavour is nice. I just don't want the cereal to be wet. If they could find a way to make like ice cubes made of milk, but they weren't really cold and hard, I want them to be firm. Like you need little milk. If you could make jelly babies out of milk and have these little jelly baby things with the cereal, and then you'd bite into it and you get the flavour, that's fine. What about gravy and KFC fries? Contrary to popular belief, KFC don't sell gravy. What they sell is like dirty, greasy chicken juice. No, thank you. That's not gravy. When I had the Popeyes biscuit and gravy the other week, it was nice. I did have to make it very clear in the video that the liquid I was dipping my scone into was not gravy. It was like Cajun spice flavored sauce. It was like no gravy I'd ever witnessed. Milk bottle sweets might get the job done, yeah. Maybe try yogurt. That's probably not a bad idea. I do like the yogurts that have cereals in. Arsenal want me to manage them. Go away, Arsenal. I'd like to go. America's waking up. I mean, they know they're wrong about those things. They know that what they've got there is scone and sauce. They can call it biscuit and gravy all they like. They know that's not what it is. We're on a different level of gravy over here in the States. I don't believe I don't believe any American has ever seen gravy. Gravy. That is gravy. This muck, don't know what this is. This is gravy. Gravy is brown and tastes like beef. That's gravy. Whereas Popeyes biscuits and gravy, you can see I've Googled this before. That's not gravy. That absolutely isn't gravy. And that is a scone. It's nice though. It is very tasty. But I wouldn't put the scone on a plate and pour the gravy over the top and let it get soggy. I was dipping. Dip and bite, dip and bite, dip and bite. Why is it called a gravy boat when you put liquid inside it? Excellent question. Doesn't get talked about enough. Someone needs to answer for that. Every time I've seen American gravy, it's been grey and lumpy. It freaks me out. Yeah, it's not gravy. It's just some kind of sauce that they like. That they call gravy. It's fine. Let them have their little bit of fun. We know they're wrong, and that's all that matters. Our job is not to convince them that they're wrong. It's just to laugh about them behind their backs. And we do it brilliantly. Imagine if they changed. If they started calling things by their proper names, we'd have nothing to giggle at. So it would ruin our fun. Love a good southern white gravy. There's no such thing as white gravy. Got to clarify. The thing that Popeyes called biscuits and gravy was really delicious. Really enjoyed it. Just should be called scone and Cajun sauce. I have a scone and Cajun sauce, please. I'd like that. I mean, I'm down in London. Oh my God, I'm going to London tomorrow. I'm having Popeyes tomorrow. Oh, what a time to be alive. Oh, I cannot wait for my scone and Cajun sauce. What happened to the diet? I mean, how bad can it be? I haven't actually looked up the nutritional value. Yeah, I suppose I am on a diet. Oh, God, what do I do now? I'm getting the train into Stratford as well. I literally will be walking past Popeyes. So they do diet sauce. How bad is the biscuit and gravy on the whole health scale? It's really bad. Oh no, don't say that to me. Tell me it's fine. Tomorrow is a Saturday, universal cheat day. Southern American food on a diet doesn't exist. Ah, for goodness sake. I don't even want to. Am I going to look? Should I look? I should probably look. Simonovic with a big miss there. Nutritional info. I don't even think I want to know. I need the UK one. Popeyes UK biscuits and gravy. Nutritional info. Should we just look on the menu? This is going to upset me, isn't it? Where is it? Right. Oh my God, just the gravy. Just the gravy's 552 calories. What the hell are you lot putting in this stuff? Just the side, the biscuit and gravy side is close to 800 calories. Oh my God. The hell is in this? Surely it's just a couple of scoops of Bisto and some Cajun spices. That is absurd. Yeah, I'm not going to Popeyes. I'm glad I looked now. That is ridiculous, though. How much must the burger be? Did I get that? Let's see if we score this corner. So, what I had last time, I had the spicy chicken sandwich meal. So, hold on. The chicken burger and chips is less calories than the biscuit and gravy. That on its own probably isn't disastrous. I think you could work that into a balanced diet over the course of a week. I think I could probably justify having a spicy chicken sandwich meal. None of that is disastrous. But the biscuit and gravy, my word. I'm a little bit horrified by that. Goodness me. I'm standing up. I need to burn some calories. I want to justify this. I've got to know what they're putting in that gravy. It must just be melted lard. Surely. Are they just melting down lard? The gravy is literally just rendered fat and flour. Oh my goodness. Yeah, okay. We're not having gravy. I mean, that's proof it's not gravy. I'm so glad I looked. I'd have been horrified sitting on the train on the way home, filling in MyFitnessPal. If the food itself didn't give me a heart attack, that would have done. Wowzers. If it's anything like KFC's, it's from the fat off of the fryers. Wow. Yeah, that was a one-time only delicious treat. Just walk to and back from London. Might have to. I might have to get the treadmill out for the rest of this stream. Even then, I've only got like 45 minutes of stream left. Even if I was on the treadmill the whole time, it's not going to get close to earning me a pot of gravy. Oh, ow, oh, oh. Just adjusting the old testicles again. Now I've stood up. We've won 6 from 6 here in our... I'm just going to call it Champions League. Basically Champions League. In our Champions League group. Bring one of those under desk pedal things to have on the train. I mean, I have got one. It's now in the living room, so it doesn't fit in my office anymore. Anna has it in front of her gaming chair. But yeah, I might have to take it on the train. Wowzers. That has genuinely shocked me a little bit. Just how bad the gravy in particular was. Wow. Someone needs to get Popeyes on the phone. We're going to mess up our perfect record here in the last couple of minutes of this game. I feel an equaliser coming. What has Vold done there? He's just ran into their player. Right, that's got to be it, surely. Final whistle. And this is a nice little win for the reserves then. Not that it's... I mean, I say reserves. It's largely the first team, because our squad's so small now. I've got a friend who works for corporate. I can pass on your displeasure. Yeah. Tell them I want a low-fat version of gravy. I want them to create it so it tastes identical, but only has 150 calories in it. That's their job. It doesn't need to be the fat. I just need that Cajun sauce. You can make it without adding all the fat in. I don't need the fat. Guzman has had a lovely time in the Conference League, and now he's leaving. He's enjoyed that. He's played more in that tournament than any other tournament this season, and he's averaged an 8.3. 1 goal, 3 assists. He's played at right back in that tournament. He's only ever played at centre back for us in the league. We had a 6'6" right back, and it worked. I don't know if you'd survive the temptation of Chicken Morada if we have a place referred to as Chicken Alley that have KFC, Popeyes, and Cane's. I don't know what Cane's is. All right next to each other. So busy it literally backs up the main road. Wow. I think there is a second Popeyes in the UK now since I went to that one. The one in Stratford, I think, was the first one. I think there's now one in Chelmsford as well. So they're edging up the M11. Which is nice. Next stop, Cambridge, please. Get closer and closer to where I live. One opening in Nottingham soon. Excellent. I still haven't tried Jollibee. I still really want to try Jollibee because they're everywhere. I was stood outside the one in Leicester, so trying to beg Anna that we should go in there. Please, Anna, let me have my lunch here. And we ended up going to Wagamama because she loves Wagamama. But I should just go out on my own one day and have a Jollibee. But that's... Oh, my knee's just given way. Ow, that hurt. I'm not wearing my knee support today. Trying to go without it. And... Oh, that hurt. What was I saying? Oh, it really hurt. Yeah, I should just go out and get Jollibee for lunch one day. That's probably hideously unhealthy as well, isn't it? Don't finish the pot, therefore it won't cost you the full 550 calories. Yeah, to be fair, last time I didn't... Like, once I'd finished the scone, there wasn't really much else to do with the gravy. I didn't have close to a full pot of gravy. I just, what, 4 or 5 dips? And that was it. I imagine me and Amy could share a gravy. Right, we're playing against Chelsea, who are top of the Premier League, I've just noticed. Oh, good. And our goalkeeper's still recovering from an injury. So this is going to be great. Do you reckon on MyFitnessPal they'll have... Oh, goo, inside the first minute. Do you reckon on MyFitnessPal they'll have an option for adding Popeyes via the dunk? I've not had a full pot. I've not had 550 calories. I've had 6 dunks. Yes, I am standing up at the moment. It's too warm a day to sit on my testicles for 3 hours. I had to get some air flowing around them. I am realising this is the worst time for me to stand up because the local school is now kicking out. It's just, there's loads of kids walking past. And I'm stood next to an open window. Clearly streaming. We're going to have an audience out there. I'm just going to be quiet while they're walking past. I don't want to draw attention to myself any more than I already am. I might have to sit back down. The top half of the blind. But the top half of the blind, it's down to there, so they can't see my head. They can see the rest of the room, though. Including the computer, the cameras, the YouTube plaques. Oh... I've done so well at hiding where I live for nearly 2 years. It's 2022, you'd have just looked like you're working from home. What, with all these lights pointing at me and YouTube plaques on the wall? I was trying to turn the camera around, but I stopped. You can probably see the reflection in the... If I do this. Yeah, so this is what you can see behind there. If we go full screen. How do I do that? Wrong camera, Kev. Upside down. Yeah, so you can see the foam wall, all the cameras and the lights and stuff. I don't know why that's upside down. I don't think anyone is going to buy the fact that it's that I'm just working from home. I think they're done now anyway. It was like a whole gaggle of them all walked past together, and now nothing. Because there's no school near where I live. They all have to get the bus to get back here. So I guess the bus just came in. They all walked past together, and then that's it. I'm safe again now. Are they wrestling figures behind me? What, there? Yeah, they're wrestling figures. That is pretty much a full set of AEW figures. Some of them are in a cupboard, though. I haven't got any doubles on there anymore. And then I've got some more wrestling. I've got some micro brawlers on here. I have got some Hasbros as well. Some WWF Hasbros. But they're in a cupboard as well currently. My camera's just come unattached. That's not great. What is going on here? Camera's now at the wrong height. Say you do a podcast. I don't want them listening to my podcast either. What is got the camera's now not attached properly? Oh, what have I done? Tighten, tighten, tighten. Is that the right height now? The camera was all floppy. Here we go. You can just about see the Pokemon cards behind me as well. We are still beating top of the table Chelsea away from home, by the way, while all this is going on. This is why it's so important that I say stay distracted. Have I seen the WWE news? Is there more WWE news today? It's been a bit of a busy week. I got as far as Vince McMahon is a pervert and Sasha Banks has been released. Has there been anything more? Everyone's tired. Steph is in charge now. Really? Wow. So I guess she left because she knew all this was bubbling when she left a couple of months ago. That is interesting. Well, well, well. I need to get some podcasts downloaded. As soon as I finish the stream, I'm driving to pick up Amy. That's Andy's bus. I need to make sure I've got some podcasts downloaded to give me all these great latest news. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, well, a point here would still be good. Aircon doesn't even feel like it's on anymore. They're going to score again, aren't they? What a bunch of butt heads. Oh, good work, Goo. Come on, go and grab another goal. My Stone Cold versus Kevin Owens ringside chair is on the way. Nice. Oh, I thought Beatty was going to score a beauty. I wonder what that actually means in practice. I wonder if Vince is actually not involved or if it's just all on paper. I'm thinking in terms of like creative rather than the company. I'm sure there's nothing to stop him still controlling stuff from behind the scenes, but oh, wouldn't it be nice if they could actually, you know, put some wrestling on the wrestling show? Said he was still in charge of creative. Oh, for goodness sake. Hideous. Vince is on SmackDown tonight. So it's all just words, isn't it? If he's still working for the company, yeah. Announced like 45 minutes after they announced he was no longer CEO. Feels like they're turning it into a storyline, which is a bit sick, really. Right, we are still in the EFL Cup, apparently, which is interesting. We'll just win all the cups this season. Then we've got to play another top of the Premier League team away from home. Maybe they'll have him blow up in a car again. Maybe. Apparently we had some kind of sign. Vince was a creepy weirdo. Exactly. I mean, as far as I'm aware, it was always fairly common knowledge that he did what he's been accused of this time, even. But who knows? It's a different world now. The man's nearly 80, though. He should just retire. Sell the company, retire, go and enjoy his money. And stay away from wrestling. Let us all start watching WWE again. So I would really like to enjoy all of the wrestling product that was out there. I don't like having to pick a side. It makes me feel like a wangy fanboy. What have we got over here, boys and girls? Another deep lying forward. But he is so much better than anyone else we've got at the club, star rating wise. I think he needs a full scout. Oh, he's already being scouted. We're going to keep an eye on this guy. The one problem with that Mexican guy is he directly gets in the way of Kadrich, who I love because he's 6'8". And he's only 5'8". I think we probably have to sign him. So far, there you go. We're going to bring him in. We can't really not bring him in the circumstances. He is, as you've rightly said, super cheap. Even if he's rubbish, we're going to sell this guy on for a big profit. Sign him now, it's early. Future Kev will be furious when he's playing for City. You're exactly right. It is the kind of thing that does just make me cross. Right, Fleming's not fit to play. Oh, hold on. We're going to play the youths again. The youths. We've got Liverpool at the weekend. Come on, semi-final at stake now. We like winning cups. Beefy's my favourite Leamington player. I might buy a shirt with Wellington on the back. That would be awesome. They'd be so confused. Actually, they wouldn't, because they're in the stream several times a week. They know what's going on. They know who Beefy is. It'd just be brilliant. I guess the Mexican guy could take over Webby's role. Now Webby's broken and finished. Of being the guy who just kind of fits in where we need to fit somebody in. The Theodros style can play midfield or up front or attacking midfield. And we'll just fit him in eventually somewhere. What about the young Serbian guy? Well, he's gonna be my main striker, I think. Whereas Kadrich is my support striker. I think long term, you go Simonovic, Kadrich up front, Beefy in behind, and then Mexican guy as the Mezzala, probably. Although you've still got Goo as well to fit him. It's nice to have multiple options. Murtha's still at the club as well. At the end of the day, it's 8 million quid for a player who's probably going to go on and be a superstar. If that means that Kadrich or Simonovic or someone else ends up not getting to the level we hoped because we signed a superstar instead, I think that's fine. Kadrich has been playing in the Premier League for a year and a half now. I mean, I may end up eating these words. I don't think he's ever going to be a 30-goal-a-season striker. He might end up being a 6'8" super sub who comes off the bench to be a threat from set pieces when we need one. I mean, Simonovic might end up being a winger. He looked quite good there. Getting out wide, getting a cross in. He's wearing the number 7 shirt. We can get another one who can do the same on the left. Maybe he's a winger. Do. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Oh, Doddy with a crunching tackle there. Lovely work from him. Simonovic loves to run with the ball, doesn't he? You could get a little bit of end product. He's going to be very dangerous. At the moment, he feels a bit like Adama Traore in the network save. Just runs a lot and doesn't really do anything when he gets there. Fabio Guzman, I am starting to regret selling. Now we're starting to rotate the squad a little bit more. He is such a useful man to have as first reserve in the back four. We are going to miss him. Bailey's going to have to step up and be awesome. Because at 18, it is early for Bailey to be stepping into that reserve role in the defence. Just watch the trailer for the Mbappe series. Love the acting skills. There was no acting. That was all legitimate. Ideas Kev sits over there by the window. Miserable git he is. I just noticed they've got the Rock in goal. Aww. Come on, let's all dance to the lovely music. Oh, Sparks, he's got to do better than that. Any young 18-year-olds around to turn English? We're selling a few English players. Yeah, we focused on that a lot in the summer. So we've got Vold, the left back, Bailey, the centre back. Feel like there was one more. I think we brought in 3 18-year-olds in the summer with that in mind. So I think we're all right at the moment. Or we will be all right. Does Dolman become English at some point? I don't know that he does. Is there some way ensuring Mbappe doesn't try to leave PSG? Well, he is the director of football. So presumably he won't leave because he's the director of football. I think the thing that stops Mbappe leaving is that he's on nearly £1 million a week and no one will give him that. So theoretically, he could accept an offer for himself and decide that he's willing to take a pay cut to go to Real Madrid or something. There's nothing we can do, and then the save ends, I guess. It's not going to be a long series as it is. But I suspect his salary will mean that he won't be going anywhere. I've done a few simulations on the database, and he's never left in the simulation. We have turned the ship around in the league now. You can arrange a future transfer and way into the future. I don't really want to do that because I want it to replicate real life. In real life, it's a 3-year contract, and then he's probably going to Real Madrid. So I wanted it to be a 3-year contract where he probably goes to Real Madrid at the end. We're into the semi-final. Now, of course, he could choose to stay at PSG, in which case we'll probably carry on the save. Yes, he is in charge of contract renewals. So, yeah, he does have the option to give himself a new contract if he wants to. That'd be such an interesting negotiation. As director of football, there's no way he wants to pay anyone £1 million a week. But as player, perhaps he doesn't want to stay unless he gets that. Why is Kev so natural, but Ideas Kev is so weird? Ideas Kev's just grumpy. He doesn't like being on camera. He doesn't really like to do any work. He just wants to kind of sit around, have really good ideas, and then take the money. That's all he's really into it for. He's just grumpy, isn't he? He's foul-mouthed as well. Mr. FM Twitch, thank you for raiding, and welcome along, Raiders. How are you doing? Being serious about the Mbappe series, I really think this will be bigger than Barcelona. Well, I hope so. The Barcelona series paid for me to go to Disneyland, so I like holidays. If it can be that sort of size again, that'd be lovely. Tottenham, we've basically got a bye through to the final. That's lovely. The reserves. What's ideas Kev's book about? He won't tell me. How did I put Mbappe as director of football? Just changed it in the database. Like how you can get player coaches. You can, once you set someone in the database to being a player / non-player, you can give them any non-playing role to go with their role as player. Theoretically, you could be a player scout, you could be a player physio, a player chairman, player owner. One of the options was player director of football. Right, how are we doing for time? We're good at the moment. We're going to face another top of the table team in the shape of Liverpool. And we are going to try and beat them in an association football match. We're going to do it from a seated position. Down here. Oh, we haven't actually kicked off. I thought I was saving time by pressing kick off and then sitting down, but no. Is Grumpy Kev better known as Temporary Kev? No. Devin Creel's in midfield, is he? Interesting. I didn't spot that as I was looking through. I mean, to be fair, as the ball-winning midfielder, if Nawar and Godwin are not fully fit, I'm not against it. Nawar's not available. Yeah, I can cope with that. Yeah, we are playing against Sergio Delgado, and it makes me very sad. Good idea for a series. Do you remember the program Dream Team on Sky One? Make a Harchester United team. I do remember Dream Team. The reason why that probably wouldn't do much in the way of views is it was 15, 20 years ago. And I don't think the typical YouTube audience necessarily remembers Dream Team. English names were so baffling for me when I was younger. I thought Liverpool was a pool full of livers. I mean, you could say that about any city name. City names are weird. Not just English city names. They're all just weirdly made up words, aren't they? What's a Barcelona when it's at home? It's just a load of nonsense. That Sky have never made Dream Team available on demand is scandalous. I would not be at all surprised if it was a licensing thing, because they used real football footage, didn't they? In it. So I imagine there's a licensing issue with making it available now. That's usually why stuff you would expect to be available somewhere isn't available anywhere. Same reason you can't buy FM12 on Steam now. In fact, I don't think you can even buy FM20 anymore. Ah! I used to have Zlatan as a player director of football at one time in FM21. What, did you do that yourself, or did the game set that up? It'd be interesting if the game's done it itself at some point. I thought I was having a completely original idea, the genius that I am. Or ideas Kev is. The irony, of course, of the trailer for the new series is that it was Standard Kev who had the idea, and Ideas Kev was trying to poo-poo it. So, probably poorly named. If only Editing Kev had thought that through. Fleming saves a penalty from Delgado. Beautiful stuff. You offered him the contract. Okay. Well, this defeat throws us down the league table. We were up in 5th place a match or two ago. Just pretend it was the other way around. I thought that was the way till you mentioned it. Yeah. How's Tor doing in terms of views? It's doing fine. For a series at this time of year, it's 10 to 15,000 views an episode, which is fine. A year ago, I'd have been absolutely delighted with those kind of figures on non-League to Legend. It's not up there with non-League to Legend or Arsenal or Barcelona at sort of 20, 25,000 views an episode level, but it was never going to be. It wasn't that kind of save. It's just, it's something I wanted to do because it's a fun save, and it's getting more views than that kind of save ever has done in the past. So, yeah, it's doing fine. Liverpool have had a player sent off. Indeed. We're still going to lose. But at least we're not in the bottom half of the table anymore, I hope. Yeah, I think the Tor save is great. I think the thing with Tor is it's only just getting to the good bit. It's had that kind of long intro period that the Road to Glory lovers will have loved. Because that's the one thing people always moan about when non-League to Legend is on. Oh, I wish you just did a one-club save where you came up through the leagues. Well, there you go, we've done that now. Now it gets really interesting because now it's a small second-tier team, probably the smallest team in the second tier, trying to rise up and ultimately topple the richest club in world football. And I think that's great fun. That's a good story. Compared to Leamington, my Tor academy. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it's going to be. Tor have a good academy. You just have to look at some of the players that have passed through the Tor academy. Patrick Vieira, Olivier Giroud, Koscielny, many, many, many more, I imagine, that I don't know off the top of my head. Tor produced some players. Have I watched the Obi-Wan series on Disney? I mean, I've only ever exposed myself to maybe an hour of Star Wars content and didn't enjoy it. I'm not a Star Wars guy. I haven't watched a complete Star Wars film ever. It didn't hold my tiny attention span. I had loads of Star Wars toys as a kid. I had a Millennium Falcon and loads of figures. Miss Marvel, I've seen episode 1. I haven't seen episode 2 yet. I really enjoyed episode 1, just haven't had time to watch episode 2 yet. Been watching YouTube videos for a long time. First time for a long time here in chat. Love the work. Well, thank you very much. Welcome along. Yeah, I love Miss Marvel as a character. The Miss Marvel comics have been some of my favourite comics of the last 10 years. In fact, we're having quite a nice little run on MCU stuff at the moment because 2 of my favourite Marvel runs of the last 10 years were Miss Marvel when it first started up and the Mighty Thor, Jason Aaron Mighty Thor run with Jane Foster as Thor. They're 2 of my favourite comic runs of the last 10 years, and we've got them both coming out now, and it's awesome. Right, I think we should just about have enough time to squeeze this Blackburn game in. Just. What is a showy forward? I have never, in 25 plus years of playing Football Manager, I have never seen that description before. What is a showy forward? I mean, he's worth a stupendous amount of money. Oh my word, this guy. This guy. This guy. How do we buy one of these? Yeah, I don't think we can buy him. I mean, the thing is, at 18, if we got him now, he would become homegrown at club. Should we just splurge £50 million on him? Showy forward. I love that. Do I want a showy forward? I mean, look at the state of that. I know it's only for the B team, but still. This feels like a bonkers transfer if we do this. Let's try and do it as 35 and then 15. Right, there, let's try that. Try and pay as little as possible up front. We might be bringing in a showy forward. Watch him be absolute trash, and I'll be furious. Get these off. You know what? Just let him have whatever he wants. We're paying all the money for him. Dolman can endorse the move. Beautiful. When's his birthday? Well, yeah, his birthday's May. I checked that when we looked a second ago. So if he comes in January, that gives him time to become homegrown at club. I mean, are we getting both him and the Mexican guy? That seems excessive. They both play the exact same position. And we've already got a lot of talent in those positions. A showy forward, eh? Godwin's off to the Africa Cup of Nations. We might have to switch to a 4-2-3-1 to accommodate him there. Mind you, we do like a 4-3. Oh, I don't know what we do. We obviously do the 4-3-1-2 now, but I don't want him in the way of Beefy. I don't want him in the way of Kadrich. It could be future Kev's problem. He can figure it out on Monday. It'll be fine. Right, Enrique Juarez. We really don't need, if we get, mind you, I guess he's the one who's ready now, and then you've got the kid who'll come in and be ready soon. We're going to sign them both and let future Kev figure it out. It can be future Kev's problem. Poor old Kadrich is done. Sandro's definitely done. I'm not offering him a contract. We need to get rid of him. We're bringing in all these other strikers. Sandro's finished. Sparks can get a new contract because, like it says, helps us with squad registration rules, and we definitely need that. I don't even know who Ron Haig is. 30th. Are we going to get that done for this match? Because we no longer have time to play Blackburn. So we won't know until Monday whether he gets a work permit. Do we just sell Sandro on the cheap? I think we probably do. There's just no point keeping him around. To be fair, it's still a massive profit on him. I didn't realise we'd paid so little for Sandro. I'm not surprised the showy forward accepted as quickly as he has. We've told him he's going to be a squad player in the Premier League at the moment. He's playing for Hertha's B team. We've offered him the chance to play in Europe as a squad player. Admittedly, he's only 2-star current ability. At best, he's going to be on our bench. We just need to keep him happy for the 3 years it takes for him to become homegrown at club. Who is Rodriguez? We've got someone... Is that the young right back? I knew there was a third youngster that we brought in. He's the right back, isn't he? Costa Rican or something, I think. Yeah, Costa Rican right back. Who's only just turned 18. So he will become homegrown at club as well. So he's Guzman's replacement in the squad, effectively. Yeah, his name is Showy Forward. Exactly. That's all he needs to be referred to as. We should probably change that now. I'm never going to be able to say his proper name. So let's just change it. Showy Forward. Because that's the only reason we're signing him. Because I'd never seen that description before. So now I have to have him. Gotta catch them all. It's the rules. Right, boys and girls, I am aware of the time. There you go. We've sold Sandro. So 1 in, 1 out on the strikers so far. Everything else future Kev can deal with. So we've got Sandro leaving, Juarez coming in, Shabby forward, who's listed as a midfielder, which is interesting. I'd love that if he establishes himself as a midfielder called Showy Forward. That's even better. And Doddy's on his way. So Showy Forward comes in to replace Doddy. And then Rodriguez comes in to replace Guzman. We've actually got 1 in, 1 out all the way through there. They're direct replacements. That's perfection. God, I'm good at Football Manager. And if you want to see further example of me being good at Football Manager, tour at 4 in a couple of minutes' time. Make sure you head over to YouTube, watch today's tour episode. And then, of course, tomorrow morning on YouTube, you've got something very special. In fact, there's something special both mornings this weekend. We've got the Mbappe thing tomorrow morning, and then there's a little standalone, something a little bit different on Sunday morning as well, in lieu of a network game highlights, which I put together over the last few days and really enjoyed. It was fun and is different to what I normally do. So keep an eye out for that as well. And then I'll be back here Monday afternoon, where we sign Showy Forward. Thank you very much for watching, folks. Toodle pip. Bye-bye.